Is your smile upside down? You don't know what to do. All you can do is frown. Spirit says, get up, move around, push your voice through. Or, well, what? The world's gone. No, the world hasn't gone mad and crazy and insane and all. What the world's doing is, they're waking up, right? Permanent eye roll, right? The stuff that we as light workers and seers have known for decades, they're waking up to. And in order to wake them up, we have to boil the water more and more, right? Like the frog boiling. When it boils slow, they don't know. When it boils fast, like right now, pushing, there's so many illusions going on, right? One border we can cross, one border we can't, one border just opened up. They're separating different people in societies all in the name of their white coats, politicians, right? I know that we're feeling this as people who are in tune to Mother Earth, and as people such as myself who talk to the trees. I know we're feeling it. This void, this, I'm so sad I don't fit in, but I don't fucking fit in, right? I don't want anything that they see as recreation. I don't want to shop in their stores with their fluorescent lights, just, I don't want any of it. I don't recreate how they recreate. I don't love how they love, and I'm not connected to any of their... So what do? I reach inside for the living God. I reach inside and I says to myself, what do I want to create now? Well, I don't know. What are my parameters? How much money do I have? What kind of material am I working with? What kind of time frame? Well, I'm not getting any younger. Blah, 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 blah. Just what? We're going to just wait? Sit here and wait? For unfulfilled promises or fate? For them to wake up, yes, that's what we came here to do. It's like we jumped over Niagara Falls, right, and we're in it. Came here to raise the vibration, so whether you lay in a corner, or lay in a car, or be laid up in a bar, you're still emitting the frequency that you came here to this realm, this dimension, this frequency, this Mother Earth, this planet. You came here to raise the vibration, okay? You hold on to, I expect benevolent change. And then it don't come and come. And then when it does come, you don't recognize it. You don't trust it. When you do get some money coming in, you do get some safety, you got post-traumatic stress, right? Well, this is it. Why did they make up a world that you had to pay them to do anything? And who is this them? And I feel it sometimes. I feel the collective grief. And I don't know what to do to push through it. Oh, go find your joy. What, at the joy store? I don't even know what is the joy. All I know now is that when I let spirit come in and push energy up, move it around, even if I resist, even with my frown, even if I'm rolling my eyes because none of this shit works, every book done been read, every ritual done been said. You are your religion, you are your magic, you are your creator, God. And so what can we create? Well, I don't know. What kind of materials am I allowed to use? Allowed? You have the power of the living God in you, girl. Woman, man, child, you got the power of the living God in you. You can build whatever you want. Oh, really? Well, I'd like to build my house and my library on the water, as done been promised to me energetically, you see, right? I'd like my library to be interdimensional and the books, like I write in my stories, into different portals and different time periods, and I'd like to be able to consciously dream. Oh my gosh, right? Dreams are changing, right? My dreams are so vivid. And part of my healing work, I used to ask people, okay, when you were dreaming, do you remember, was there a mirror or a reflection in a window? Most people always say no. Okay, you can't find a mirror, you're not getting a reflection, you don't know who you are in your dream physically. You might recognize your hands, you might recognize the color of your skin, okay? You might not. I have people go back in memories of their childhood, and I say, okay, well, they're picturing the room they're in. I'm like, can you visualize going over to the window and look out? What do you see outside? Most of the time, the houses don't have any windows. But now people are having these incredible dreams where they're seeing who they are in other timelines. I talk about, have many times over decades, that there's been many of things now that I don't believe in death, and that I've been to the other side, and before the Mandela effect, before all that. One day, Spirit showed me, I just went there. I was the chair that I was sitting upon. Then I went there, and then I was in a puppy. And I was looking up from that chair or from that puppy, right? And with the puppy, you could make a noise, right? But you're not speaking the language of the people around you. In the chair, you're just observing. They have their own frequency language, right? It was just this flash I had, the Spirit showed me in my 20s, that no matter where my consciousness is, it's still me. And there's no such thing as death. And then my consciousness could be put in a rock, right? In a tree, in a butterfly. It could choose to experience anything. There's a big old consciousness, maybe there's 100 parts, maybe there's 1,000,000. Each part could experience something else simultaneously. And there is no such thing as time, and all things are at once, right? So we're experiences, pieces of a lot of things. And I knew that it was my consciousness that told me that I was me. Not my avatar, not the color of my hair, or my skin, or my nationality, or because I look like the mother that I chose in this lifetime with DNA, right? That look, that physical appearance is something that in New Earth we will be able to change into any avatar we want, or in avatars that we've been, but mostly it's going to be a combination of all we've seen and been and known, because we're picking up billions of timelines and things that we experienced that we may not have preferred, and we're bringing in millions to billions of what we did prefer, right? So we don't know what we like and what we don't like until we experienced it, and we went, oh, we definitely don't like that, right? And so your avatar might be a combination of a whole bunch of things. You're going to create your new world from all the things that you've learned. And Spirit's showing me some of this stuff now to try to explain my frown, right? Oh, man, the energy right now, right? I get so, okay. I broke out of the ice. I rose from the dead. I found the living God, right? I know my every thought is part of the living God and contributing to creating my reality and the reality of the whole. Okay? My family has died to me alive. I've lost everything, gained everything. There's no such thing as everything. I've been unconditionally loved. I don't know if I have unconditionally loved, but I'd like to think I have. What now? Create the world I want to live in. I am sorry. I don't want to be, what do they call it, a Debbie Downer or some sort of a 3D human. I don't want to be that, but for fuck's sake, I can't do a fucking thing right now. Right? This is what they channeled to us decades ago, crying on saying, when the great war or the great whatever breaks out, you will be somewhere safe where you have plenty. And you'll be watching it play out from your window, and turns out the window is the internet, right? Watching it play out, we can engage or not engage. It's going to happen. They're awake and it's happening. It is like the digital Armageddon. The Armageddon is in your mind and consciousness, which is the only place you really dwell. And the Mandela effect, the people that saw that really drove that concept home, right? So, I don't remember if there was a point before the point. It was before the point. But if I get a sentence and it just hangs out there like an air ball or a basketball game, and you want to know what it was I was thinking I might have going to say, you could email me at ReverendCrystalCox@gmail.com. This video is for Spirit to show me what to do about the upside down frown, right? And it's about bringing in energy. Woo! Right? Fake it till you make it. Ha! Ha! Yeah. And it's not to do with I got a dentist appointment in the morning, which I'm not really feeling good about. I feel a little discouraged at the fact that the human body is so unadvanced in some areas. I mean, teeth, they're just oh my goodness, right? We should be able to just bring in the holograms of whatever teeth we want. I mean, I moved from a land where the sun was yellow to the sun is white. My heart moved, right? But yet then I still have the same scars. There's so much about the Mandela effect, or when you see that you've moved realms, you know. Sometimes it does get me down, right? And when I read a headline, because you know I look, I can't help it, and there's other things I'm looking for, other markers and indicators for what I'm wanting to create and have been for quite some time. So I look and I just get shocked at the restrictions and how the energy is trying to corner free will and corner sovereignty and corner it. They've always had it, right? And the light has won, and so the cleanup is an illusion, right? Because it looks like we're being backed more and more and more into a corner, but that's only so that people can rise up and realize that they have the power and they have the choice, right? And meanwhile, as light workers and starseeds, we're just simply in status, in safety, in peace and in joy. But many of us have been through so much, you know, where I hear this big wind and the clattering of the metal against the side of some house, and you just, you know, for years or decades. And so now we're sitting in peace. Our hardest job is to enjoy peace. That's what Spirit shows me, right? So if I'm not under it at this moment, or even for a month, or even for 2 months, or even for 6 weeks, I'm always, the post-traumatic stress is, well, it's going to end at some point. You're going to be, you know, so it's releasing all that and being in the forever now and letting yourself just be. For so many of us that have done channeling and light work and seen all this stuff so far ahead, our job really is right now to just be. And that is so hard and sometimes sad, and be like, well, is it lonely? Well, no. It's you can be lonely or with somebody, right? Been there, done that. It's not about being lonely for other humans. It's a longing for home, but not like I had in my earlier days when I'm like, oh my God, I just want to go home. I wanted to leave this earth and cross over and whatever. Well, the Mandela effect blew that all out of the water, right? Because it's like, I know that I'm going to keep waking up Groundhog Day until I figure it out the proper, logical, certain way that the game was built so that I can get out of the maze. You know, that there's no sense in one taking one's own life, for sure. But at the same time, when you long for home, you're longing for that peace, that contentment, that fit in, that reset, that many of us just don't feel here on earth. And sometimes people distract themselves in addictions of relationships, or really uptight, high-strung, needy, monogamous relationships, especially those, because they can keep you from doing the work, or feeling what might feel like lonely or longing for home, which leads you to knowing more about yourself, leads you to understanding your powers, right? They call them supernatural, or all these, you know, the powers of energy and healing and goodwill and joy. They were always ours. They convinced you that it's supernatural and only happens now and then. Or like with cures, oh, it's only cured here or there. You know, with diseases I've studied over decades. Turns out thousands and thousands of people cure themselves of whatever ailment it is. By thoughts, right? Switching to a different reality, by energy, by all those cures we won't talk about here because we're not allowed, you know? And then people out there still thinking they're free, and they're looking right at the bad guy that's doing bad, evil things, and they're calling him the good guy, and you see the mass hypnosis, and some days you can't help but just not be able to turn around that frown, and that's when you call out to the living God. You say, do something, man. I don't know. It's not like I need entertainment. I got tons of stuff to do, right? Worry? Well, that's just kind of the condiment on top of things now and then. But what, Great Spirit, what? I know that my thoughts are part of the living God, and I stay positive the best I can, and I be kind to myself and my mind the best I can. But what? I get sad. Then I go, well, there's no such thing as sad. Then I get what? I get the void. I get the what now? I get the, oh, write this and do this and be meaningful production. And oh, it's so funny as people talk more and more about jobs. You debt slaves out there, you people who have to pay for the air and the water and everything that makes the electricity go round, you, according to their political misery, God, you have to have a job that's meaningful to them, right? It's your job to get a job at the restaurant. You are morally and spiritually obligated to go down and get a job, so those restaurants make it. Entertain me, entertain me, entertain me. Show me your papers. I did not expect this. And some days I get a little down about it. I know what I see. I've seen it my whole life. I just turned 50 last fall. I'm almost 51 now. It's a 5 and a 1, you see. I'm still in that magic 5. I just started at Magic 5. I get real sad watching some of the headlines where if I didn't look at the headline or have the thought, then I wouldn't feel sad, right? But and say what? I thought humans were further along. I thought humans were more evolved. They're saying that about me. I'm redneck, racist, caveman, right? Because I believe what I know to be true for me. Right? We're not even factoring in moving in realms or spirituality or energy, right? It's just bombarding every day with this false God called government. And I have never, as soon as I turned adult, probably even before that, and just all the alternative medicine stuff that I was studying at the time, I knew then there's no way we're free. There's no way we're free when our cures are illegal. There's just no way. It's just working within that pretend freedom. And I get it. People are like, well, what can I do to make a change, right? I believe I did. And I believe I really did that work and that I helped change and that I helped bring that up over the 51%. And they say with light workers now our work is done. People are awake. They're doing their thing. So now the light workers are like, keep working on yourself. Oh, my God, I've been doing it. And then you sit there in those moments of peace and you're like, oh, my fucking God, right? I feel good and happy and at peace, and so the fuck what? Didn't change a fucking thing. Sounds negative, possibly, but that's because it is. So, working on the supernatural tools and feeling an energy go a different direction, just get up and say something, Spirit said, just get up and say something, right? I'm going to do a video after this of Psychiana Lesson 3. About being your thoughts being part of the living God, and just bring energy forth. I've done a few things in energy in this video channel that were uncomfortable for me, that I didn't really want to do, but that I pushed through to do to challenge a part of myself, right? And letting voices and energy come through and break the conundrum. Letting the hum, 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 hum break the conundrum and moving around. So it's like, get up, move around. Get up, move around. Things are a little different now, right? You don't wake up and walk out on the docks, walk along the water every day, right? I tell Spirit, and I tell my people that I give spiritual advice to, that wherever you're at, just this or better, right? This is great, right? Like, I'm grateful, I'm comfortable, I'm so happy, like, energy's beautiful, this is great. This or better, right? And changing your frequency vibe from survival and from this and from that. And as light worker Spirit's showing me just this battlefield, right? So thousands and thousands of years, like, let's say 6,000 years, right? Just fighting and dying and fighting and dying and fighting and dying. Whatever that fight be in the human archaic system, and then recycling that part of our soul, right? We're in a time to rest. But the light workers are so used to do, so they're developing new programs, new ways to help the humans, new things for themselves to still be there, because in a way they kind of feed off of that energy from the internet, this great almighty window, right? So they're still monetizing it, they're still making a living in that system. But when money changes and everybody's not in that system, then the light workers, the channels, they'll say fuck more, and they'll be like, I believe this and I believe that. They do sugarcoat some of it to keep coming back so they can monetize their channel, right? And now that they've made it, now that they've won the prize and they've crossed the finish line, they don't know what to do. They're being called to just sit and be still and be joyful and beam light, but they can't. So they're rebranding, they're doing new content, they're going a whole other direction, still in that same model of create content, put an advertisement. I studied in my early 20s, well, I'm studying forever, but all this healing herbs and cures and mega vitamin therapies and juicing therapies for everything, right? I studied just just in depth, and not at college. Hated college. I learned 16 plants there. I just did it to get the degree in their little game system. The real study was hundreds and hundreds of plants and their energy and their frequency and their herbs and their quality and their forestry aspects. Right? That's what I like to do. And on that note, I forgot what I was going to say. But now we're there. Right? So now it's about walking the talk and just being in it. It's about resting from the great battlefield we've been on. And they still are, it's not just money to make a living that they're looking for content. It's an energy they feed on by mattering, by giving people advice and helping them, being the ones that know. And we've been kept in the dark, even the people that could see or the remote viewers, because the quantum... they couldn't tell anymore because Earth ended in the end of 2012, right? The way that they could predict which path is best if we do this weird thing or this cool thing, right? And it's about owning your mind. So as light workers, we're being called to, So when I first saw the Mandela effect, I started working on every program and every trigger to be the best me. I realized I'm projecting reality, right? So I had been working on that for years in every way, but now it's like, let yourself be in that. Spirit shows me to be at peace. Let yourself be at peace and joy. I don't fucking know how. I don't feel it, Spirit. I'm not. This is joyful. This show. Oh, that's kind of funny. Kind of enjoy a few things there. I get kind of excited about different food things, or sometimes when I visit with different people, there's different things that are kind of fun, spiritual information. But then it's like, then later I'm like, yeah, so what? I kind of get negative about it because I'm like, okay, perfecting the art of being safe and warm and at peace, perfecting the art of not having someone or something at you, constant stress. You're not supposed to be here. You have to do this. You have to go get this. Other people's drama, noise, bang. Once that's gone from your life, you take months and months, if not years, to relax from that post-traumatic stress once it's over. And you don't start healing from it until it's over. Until you've cut out your mother from your life, or your relatives that are abusive, that are like blood's thicker than water, or abusive friends, anything abusive in the system at all. You cut off the poison to heal from the poison. So you have to cut off from all of that to heal from it. And then just being able to just let yourself be at peace, like, it's the fucking point. Right, I'm raising the vibration. This is very peaceful. But I don't feel it, right, in those times. I don't feel it. And that's the post-traumatic stress that was put on us by our mothers, by our abusers, by people in our DNA and all of their abusive. And it doesn't matter whether they're good or bad. For me, it doesn't matter what my mother did to me as a child. That was part of her stuff, part of things she needed to learn and experience. And then I chose to experience that to move through. And if that was the case alone, then I would continue to have a healthy relationship with my mother. But as an adult, she never changed that behavior. Okay? And so those people, if they're healthy in your life now, that's one thing. So there's a lot of people that just use the excuse of like, well, my mom did it to me when I was a kid. Well, yeah, because that's our basic operating system. So we learn new operating systems. But the issue becomes, and that's what people don't understand about, homeless or these issues that they think, oh, you should be grateful, chop some wood, make a little money. First of all, it doesn't get you into housing, right? People have jobs, $15 an hour is not really getting them into housing now. It's changing the whole, I forgot my point on that, the whole mentality of it. What I was going to say is that when you do get to a better situation, it's harder than a worse situation, okay? So sometimes, quite often, for the post-traumatic stress, because you're surviving, you're looking for bathrooms, you're looking for food, you're looking for warmth, you're constantly in survival mode, and then when it relaxes and things are at peace, you're so ready for the bad to come back, or whatever you perceive the other level to come back, so you create so much post-traumatic stress. Whereas if things got worse, you'd still be on that same survival mode and all of that. And so people don't understand that when it gets better, it seems better and easier to you, it's going to seem really worse to that person you've helped for quite some time. And that is not only just the homeless and other trauma thing, but now it's the light workers, the healers, the starseeds, because we've been helping people for so long, doing all these things. When it came time to go, put the mirror back on yourself, you can't teach other people, right? People can learn from you if they want to know. Like if I'm talking about something, oh, that sounds interesting, that stuff about blah, blah, blah. Then they'll go and they'll research it, right? And they'll ask their guides and their angels, and they'll talk to the living God and the I Am, and they'll find this information, okay? It's all out there. I'm not reinventing it. But what I am bringing me through, my Spirit showing me, is an energy, a lightning bolt. Not just for whoever happens on this, because who knows if anyone will. But kind of the cure in the living God for myself when I'm in that void going, well, now what the fuck, okay? Who fucking cares? What's a foggy point? Well, I'll sit here and be at peace, enjoy this peace. What? Like, rah, 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 I'm at peace, rah, rah, rah. Joy, joy, joy. Okay, is that an exaggeration? No. How dare you? So, living God. Okay, Great Spirit, Mother God, Archangel Michael, Saint Germain, Jesus Christ, Father God, Mother God, all the saints and angels and all the spirits of the highest and best for me personally, and all who ever hear this video are in the energy field can be affected by the energy of the sound codings in this field. Lady Nada, Goddess Maud, Goddess Sedna, Goddess Isis, Thor, bring up your power, bring up your strength. Great Spirit, God of all things, Mother Goddess, Syrian, Pleiadian, Orion beings of the highest frequency and the highest best for humanity and myself included, and as the vehicle for this frequency. And I just heard this high frequency. Just higher than I could possibly do or hear. I call in Mother Mary. I call in Mother Earth. The energy of the sacred trees. The trees are communicating with people so much now. I call all this energy in. I ask that you show me and all who hear my voice and frequency how to be in joy, how to be at peace, how to enjoy this transition as the humans awaken, how to enjoy this time of supposed to be leisure and relax and let it come to us, heal us all of post-traumatic stress, bring housing for all, remove the oppression of the energy of 3D money. I also call upon the Galactic Council of Light. Remove these politicians that oppress us and keep our cares and take away our gods and goddesses. Remove these churches that force their only one path to their one God. You are God. God is everywhere. God is between you and that being, and nothing man-made. I ask that you assist all of humanity